going to talk about Star Wars again because it's awesome and y'all need to watch more of it. Today I'm sitting down with the Clean Libertarian. How you doing, man?
Doing well, man. I'm glad to be on a podcast talking about the thing I love most in this world, Star Wars.
Nice. So I'm going to ask you a bit of questions about Star Wars then. How old were you when you first saw Star Wars? Like, what was your Star Wars movie? What got you? What was the big Star Wars event?
It was the original trilogy back before George Lucas, came in and added all the CG edits to it and all of that. This was back when Jabba the Hutt in A New Hope was a fat guy in a fursuit. Like that was way back when. I don't know if you remember that or not.
I've seen those, but again, I watched those too when I was young. My aunt had them on like VHS, but when she upgraded the DVDs, she didn't know that they'd changed things. She just threw them away.
Yeah.
And so when I started watching DVDs, like, this isn't right. Something's not right here.
Yeah.
Oh, that is cool. So I figured we just talk about the Jedi and Sith. I read your Twitter thread about the Jedi and the Sith, and it was very, very awesome. So
right on.
Get right into it. So Jedi or Sith, who's better? Why do they both suck?
Okay, so to really understand this, we got to break it down on what is either body organization bringing to the galaxy around it, right? So Jedi is seen as the really puerile, awesome good guys. That's how they're spun in every single movie and all the books and everything like that. But in the the Galactic Empire is considered to be all that is evil. But like you said, you brought up the Twitter breakdown, and kind of like how I pointed out some of it, man, was that the Jedi were religious zealots of their time, especially in the age prior to A New Hope. If we go back into the prequels, you really see exactly what type of people these Jedi are. And so, before we get into all of that, I guess both are equally crappy, both have their downsides. The Jedi bring a little bit more freedom with none of the technology to back it up. Now, the Galactic Empire, they have the boot a little bit more firmly on people's necks. However, they have, state-of-the-art technology, and, that's what they bring to systems. They bring order, is what they say. And so it's a wash for me, man. If I was going to run with anybody, it would probably be the Mandalorians,
Yeah.
That would be my crowd.
I respect that. I gotta say, this is my notice when I watched as a kid. It's like light side, dark side. It's simple. Good guys, bad guys. Red, blue, and green. Then you rewatch it when you're older, after kind of seeing what the world is like. You're like, oh, both these groups fucking suck.
Yeah.
And this is why I love the Clone Wars TV so much. Is they really that last season specifically. Did you ever watch the Clone Wars TV show?
Here's the thing. When it comes to the cartoon, the animated stuff, I have a hard time. I can't follow along. So no.
Yeah, well, I recommend you watch the last season, if not just the last 5 episodes, because Ahsoka, Anakin's apprentice, gets framed for bombing the temple.
Okay.
And they investigate her when she's innocent, and she has to go on the run. The Jedi don't believe her. It's a whole ordeal. And then she gets offered to come back to the temple, and she's like, nah, y'all didn't believe me. Fuck you, I'm out. And she just walks out. She just leaves.
Wow.
And then she finds out about Maul on Mandalore and stuff, taking over Mandalore, and tries to get the Jedi to help. And they're like, oh, you're a civilian now. We don't care what you say. And she just it really does show the whole great Jedi. Really sees he's Ahsoka and Luke both. In episode 8, Luke was like, the fall of the Jedi was hubris. The Jedi need to end. Ahsoka is like that too. She kind of went through all of it with the Jedi Council and was like, yeah, these people fucking suck, and they shouldn't be around. This is not how the Force would work. And so I really if you really hate on the Jedi and the Sith, I can't recommend the last season of Clone Wars enough. It's really good.
Okay, will do, man. Will do.
No, I was talking to the guy on my podcast a few days ago about the Star Wars stuff. We're talking about the Jedi, and it's like all of the shit that happens could be avoided if they didn't be so bad at teaching. Anakin, if they just taught him, like you see that in Attack of the Clones, it's like this idea system of government is terrible. He's an idiot, and he has to be an idiot. Otherwise, Palpatine couldn't corrupt him so easily. And if they just said, "Hey, maybe attachments aren't great, but they aren't terrible," don't try to hide things from us. Like, they showed us in the Clone Wars that Obi-Wan kind of knew about the whole Padme Anakin thing, and the council was like, "Oh, we're not going to bring this up because he's doing good as a general." And it's like, everything that happens was completely avoidable if they just actually did their job.
Yeah. That's they absolutely, and that's the other thing too, is that they used Anakin as bait. I mean, and that's what we saw in the prequels, and you don't do that to people you respect, man. Like they gave him none. This isn't like an undercover sting operation where the undercover officer is like well equipped and ready and knows fully what they're getting into. This is them dropping Anakin in a situation that they knew he was not probably ready for, and they reaped the whirlwind for it. I mean, it's just what happens. I
mean, it's like everyone says Qui-Gon was great because he wasn't on the council, but it's like if he didn't free the mom. He had the power.
Boom.
He already seated on the dice game to win Anakin. The guy is destitute at the end. You didn't even go back to get the mom out of slavery. Like, I get it. No attachment. Take the kid. You take the kids. Because then I already take kids from their parents in the first place. It was its own fucking problem. But then the know that the mom's in slavery, and you're just like, well, we take kids anyway. It's just less of a hassle this way. It's like, what's wrong with you? You're
it's fucked up. People. It's fucked up. And to have them left, have her left in that particular environment where it's very clear she's being abused, she's not being treated well, and it just went downhill for that poor woman afterwards. I mean, my God, not only like the only good thing that she had in her life was her child by her side. And the Jedi were like, fucking nope, we're taking that from you too.
He got some high midichlorian count. We got to use that. It's like he's the chosen one, so we're just gonna take the strongest guy ever to be born and just psychologically fuck him up.
Yeah, pretty much, man. That's one of the dumb. So talking about midichlorians, midichlorian, there was a meme that went around a while back because I shit on the prequels, man. I really do. I fucking hate them. They make me so upset. But midichlorians are the answer to the question we never wanted to know. None of us gave a fuck about it. That's what made the original trilogy so cool, is because there was no midichlorians. The Force was this attainable thing that anybody could get. And as a kid watching it, you're like, oh shit, this could be me. I could have the Force. But no, man, you ain't got the midichlorian count,
This really so similar that's like changed in modern media. It used to be anyone was a hero, was like the typical story, Luke is some kid from a farm. Anyone could be a hero. But now you look at it, it's a sequel trilogy. Rey has to be a descendant of somebody. It's all about family lines. Even in Doctor Who and other shows, it's like, well, you see her was they did a whole thing with Doctor Who recently. It's like another dimensional being. I can see the reason they all have all these regeneration powers. It's like everything in modern media went from being like anyone can be a hero to only special people can be heroes. It is really, and it's really wild, weird. Like once you see it, just like you look at like even new Star Trek, like when they remade the Star Trek movies, Kirk went from just being a captain who had a dad who was also a captain to being a guy whose dad was killed in a heroic act, and now everyone wants him to go be a captain again. Every new reiteration in media is always like some legacy thing, and it's like, what is this? Why do we need? This is a weird lesson to give kids that you're nobody unless you have some special parents.
Right. It is strange. I've never thought of that, man. That's wild.
I mean, look at even like Lord of the Rings. Frodo is just some random dude, Right. But look at Harry Potter, chosen one again. Look at Percy Jackson, one of the popular kids book series. It's all about lineage. Your dad's a god. That's all it's about.
Right.
It's like there's nothing. I can't name a single new form of media after 1990s probably where there wasn't some legacy built into it. That's just really weird to give kids that kind of mindset. I don't know why it bugs me, but it's weird.
See, they were on track to make Rey that, because it was like you came from nothing, you're nothing, and then Rise of the Skywalker, which I'm gonna look, man. I'm gonna be real honest. I didn't mind it. I didn't mind the movie. It was good. It was a good end. I cried like a bitch during the entire movie. I still cry when C-3PO says, "I'm looking at my friends one last time," even though there's comedic elements after that. Just that moment alone, I'm like, oh fuck, that's my childhood, man. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I feel the same way. Everyone shit on it, but I actually liked it. I say it all the time. The sequels could have been good if they kept one fucking director. If J.J. Abrams just stuck to the whole thing, we would have been great. But they hired 3 directors and they fired a guy. Like, what is this?
What was his name? What was the guy in the middle?
Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson. Yeah. I hope he fucking stubs his toe every night for the rest of his life. Every night. Fuck that guy. That was so batshit crazy. I mean, it's just like JJ. He went safe with Force Awakens. JJ took the safe bet, and that is recreate what made Star Wars so goddamn good. And then Rena's like, I think I'm just going to fuck shit up. I'm just going to make this completely different. And yeah, there's no way to really fully come back from The Last Jedi. Jesus Christ.
I was telling everybody, it's like if they made it like every other trilogy nowadays, it's like the last one's a 2-parter, you know? If they did that with episode 9, just made it a 2-parter, part 1, part 2. You probably could have fixed everything, you know? Like,
that's true.
Like, and I feel like that's what the time jump was. They did a whole load of time jump in episode 9. And it's like they're trying to jump halfway through the story again because they had to rectify everything. Anyway, back to the Jedi and Sith. If you could recommend a book or a ideal to the Jedi and Sith, like, hey, maybe think about this and not be so terrible. You know, kind of make them look at their worldview. What kind of ideal book would you say they should look into?
There's a trilogy, and it's called the Darth Bane trilogy. Okay, and there's 3 books. It's the expanded universe, and this takes place way before any movie, any of that. This is considered the old Republic. This is way back when. And Darth Bane, just to give a brief little synopsis, Darth Bane is this abused kid. He is like a slave in a mine. Like this kid could beat the shit out of anybody around. I mean, like, he's been working on his mind his whole life. His father was a complete and total piece of shit. Somehow or another, he finds himself enlisted in the Sith, because the Sith used to be an empire, not the Galactic Empire, but it was actually the Sith, empire way back when. And he enlisted in their like lower level, infantry division. And he was quickly pushed up through the ranks because of his cunning, and he's just a badass. This dude single-handedly upended the entire Sith empire and rewrote the history.
He's the guy who came up with the ruler too, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he didn't come up with it, but he adopted it because he found it on a holocron. So holocron is like, you know what a holocron is, right? Yeah. Okay, so like he found a Sith holocron. Also, in his journey for more Sith holocrons, he went into this one tomb, and there was these little crab-like creatures called like obelisk or something like that, and they cover his whole body. He's impenetrable to lightsabers. Like, this dude was fucking invulnerable. I mean, the dude is just a badass.
I think one of his feats was he went out into a thunderstorm with a lightsaber. He went into a thunderstorm with a lightsaber, and he was so quick, he was able to cut the raindrops and say drops.
Yes.
Like, his guy was insane. Darth Bane is... I'm a huge fan of the Old Republic, the games, the books, everything. Like, which is why I hate the new High Republic bullshit. Yeah. It's just like, you had the greatest like Star Wars lore ever, and you shit on it. Like, what is on it? What was Disney shitting on things? Stop it.
Yeah, dude. There was so much good stuff there that could have been. I mean, if Disney would have worked alongside the cinematographers for the Old Republic series, the games. Holy shit, dude. If we can see that on the big screen.
I still rewatch those videos like all the time. Because I was in the gym today, and I'm like, I need something to watch on the treadmill. I watched those videos again. I'm like, why is this 5-minute video with 4 lines of dialogue better than the entire fucking trilogy?
Bro,
like, it's so good.
It's so wild to me. I mean, it really is. You got to have a newfound respect, for what they were able to pull off, because they took that thing they made the universe dangerous, man. They made the universe dangerous. They didn't fucking bubble wrap it. They didn't put social justice warrior shit or try to make everything about culturally. They didn't care. It wasn't about that. This was about the nerds, giving the nerds what they want.
Yeah.
Give us what we want, damn you, Disney.
It was so good too. I mean, every piece of lore, the hyperspace wars, the Mandalorian wars, the just everything they did from like the political, like I was listening to, there's a 60-minute long YouTube series about some Jedi reading holocrons about the history of the Old Republic on YouTube. And it's incredible because you're like, wow, the political story here of like the new Mandalore they tried to create and the slave fighting pits. And it's like, there was so much here that they could have turned to a movie. And they were going to. Disney had hired the guys to do Game of Thrones for a trilogy. And the guys fucked up Game of Thrones so bad. They're like, no, don't come over here anymore. We can't have the Ryan Johnson on our hands. And it's like, every time Disney almost does something awesome, it gets ruined. This is why, besides Mandalorian, which is perfect, great, and these just Dave Filoni and what's his name, Jon Favreau, just need to stay there and keep casting Kennedy at bay, just keep everyone away.
Yeah,
because it's.
And who would have thought Jon Favreau would be the guy? I never would have guessed that, dude.
Me neither. I saw Iron Man 2 and I was like, okay, this is.
Yeah, same here. I'm in the same boat as you on that. And then just to see this like dude who we all know, but never would have equated with like, I mean, the nerd whisperer is who he is now. I mean, that dude is awesome.
He is. I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to, the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show. Yeah. Like I heard Boba Fett's going to be in it. Supposedly Qui-Gon's going to be in it.
That's what I've heard.
And I'm really hoping they explore some of Qui-Gon, but like, listen, the Jedi Council sucked, and here's why. Like, I would love to see him kind of explore that because they were doing that scene in the sequel trilogy and the Clone Wars show, and so I'm really hoping they kind of continue to see him, be like, hey, the heroes you guys loved as kids are actually fucked up. Yeah, I would love to see him explore that whole scene. Let's see.
Tell you what's going to be cool too is the Book of Fett. That's going to be good. Fucking rad. That's going to be rad.
Oh, when Boba Fett showed up in Mandalorian, I was like, oh my god, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen. The knee cannons, it was just the music, the fight scene, everything about his character and the suit, how it looked. Oh,
straight up dope, man. Everything about that was awesome.
Okay, I gotta ask you, what was a better scene? Boba Fett's appearance, take on the Stormtroopers, or Luke Skywalker taking on the Death Troopers?
Fett all day long. Really? Fett.
See, I go Luke.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing with Luke is that they made him, young Luke again. And like, I don't know, man. It's like, we know that story. We know that story. We don't all know that Boba Fett made it out, right? So it's like, and getting to see that, dude, that's so fucking good.
It was cool. I mean, well, now I got to ask you, we're talking about Sith and Jedi and how much they both suck. If you had to pick a favorite Jedi and a favorite Sith and a least favorite Jedi and a least favorite Sith, who would it be? Because for me, favorite Jedi is Obi-Wan. Least favorite is Mace Windu because that guy ruined everything.
Yeah.
It's all Mace Windu's fault. Everything in the prequels is Mace Windu's fault.
I think for Jedi, and this is with very little knowledge, but from what I've learned about her, is Ashoka. She is, to me, she's punk rock. You know what I mean? She's punk rock. She thinks for herself, and that's enough for me. So that's my favorite Jedi. So for Sith, I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to probably stick with Vader because that's just my dude, man. Vader's always been my guy. He's always gonna be my guy.
Everyone loves Vader and hates Anakin.
I know, right?
I love it. It's like, yes, this is how terrible the prequels were. They made you hate the same fucking character.
What they call Anakin Skywalker, dude.
It's just so bad.
It was tough. I mean, it's just, but what the fuck was the guy supposed to do? I mean, obviously the script was trying to bring that annoying teenage thing out of him. So it's like he didn't have a choice with it, but still, man, like
I cannot remember who it was, but someone wrote a book about the political philosophy of Star Wars, and I cannot remember his name at all. And it's gonna, if you listen and do, because I'm gonna tag you when I release it, because I quoted his book in the last podcast too, and I didn't look him up afterwards because I'm lazy. Okay. But he wrote a book and he wrote the reason like Anakin had to suck like he made an argument in the book that if Anakin was smart, clever, and witty, and actually fun to listen to, he had to write him as a good character. And if he was a good character, he wouldn't have been able to turn to the dark side. But you need him to be bratty, you need him to be whiny, you need him to be selfish. That whole like, I'm better than Obi-Wan, he just doesn't see it yet. You need him to be that kind of guy so that Palpatine could hijack it. If he was smart and witty, then it wouldn't have been believable. And so he tries to make a defense of the shitty writing, his deliberate. And I think he's putting the cart before the horse, but I think he makes a good argument. And it makes me. I watched the prequels after hearing him talk. And I'm like, I see what he's saying, and I think he's saving the prequels, but I don't think that was the intention at all.
George Lucas, when left to his own devices, will fuck anything up in front of him. And when it came to the prequels, I really do think that they were spite films. It seems like they were spite films. You know, he knew who his base was. He knew, but yet every one of those movies was meant to draw in new audience members. It wasn't to cater to the existing ones, you know, and that's where a lot of us take issue with it. Here's the thing. The prequels by themselves, if you remove the Skywalker timeline, if you remove any semblance of the original trilogy from it, okay, all new characters, you know, just even in the same galaxy, I'm okay with. But the thing is, what they did with the prequels, as opposed to what we fell in love with the original trilogy, they're unrecognizable from one another. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so
no one thought it was in a trilogy and stuff. No, this needs trade route discussions.
Well, and here's what saved that part for me was reading Plagueis. Have you read Plagueis?
Everyone keeps telling me to read it. I think I own it somewhere. I have a lot of Star Wars books I got from like the Odyssey and Goodwill that I have read, but haven't read in years, and so I can't remember all the details. Okay, but from what I remember, he was awesome.
Dude, Plagueis is the guy who trained Sidious, aka Palpatine. Yeah. Okay, that was his man. Plagueis single-handedly built the Trade Federation from the ground up, dude. Like, this dude made himself somebody with the one goal in mind, and it never came. He never got to see it come to fruition completely, but just reading that book kind of saved some of those elements in the sequel, the prequels for me.
What do you think of this idea? I was talking to my friend on the last podcast about it. I'm doing a whole month of Star Wars podcast, and so I was talking with the last one. And we talked about how in the prequels, there really isn't any good guys. There's Palpatine, and there's people who follow Palpatine's plan to the letter. Like, not once did they ever do anything that he did not expect them to do. They're just ignorant ideologues who just play their role the exact way he's supposed to. I'm not going to say the drones are the good guys.
Right,
so there really isn't any good guys in the prequel. I mean, you get Ahsoka in the Clone Wars, but that's really it. Even the clones. I mean, the engineers only follow orders. Like, no Jedi. I can't say Jedi are good people when they hear, hey, we made you a slave race to only follow orders, and they don't ever question the ethics of that. These aren't good people.
Yeah. Straight up, man. Like, that's a good point. There really isn't. I guess the closest thing to pure that you could get would be the slave kids in the Phantom Menace. That's about as close to puerile and actual goodness that you could get. And that's just because they were kids. Yeah,
there's no one. I mean, in the Clone Wars, they're awesome. Like, they do an episode of the Clone Wars where a clone investigates, like, why are we made to only follow orders? He gets hit in the head and like he gets messed up and he doesn't follow orders anymore. And he actually uncovers the plot of Order 66, and so all the clones trying to kill him. And it's a really good like conspiracy theory episode. And he had friends that he had convinced, and so they go get started to remove their inhibitor tips so he can not follow orders as well. And it is a really cool clone story about clones. Like, good soldiers follow orders, and so I'm like, that might be a problem down the line.
Yeah.
And so there's
here's one. Is that the Bad Batch?
That is somewhat in the Bad Batch, but it's explored. It's set up in season 4 of the Clone Wars.
Okay, because I watched the Bad Batch, and the first episode it blew my socks off. I loved it. The second one, I couldn't get past like 15 minutes, man. I turned it off, and I haven't revisited it since. I don't know.
The thing about the Clone Wars is it bugged me. They didn't release them in order. Like, the entire timeline bounces around. Like, if you want to watch them in chronological order, you got to start with like season 3 and then bounce back to 2 it's really weird. And so there's so many episodes you can just skip. But there are some good ones, and when it's good, it's better than all the prequels. And in my opinion, the Clone Wars kind of saves the prequels. It makes it worth watching.
Damn. Okay.
There's a list online of like episodes to watch in the Clone Wars, and it takes it from like 6 seasons to like 20, maybe 30 episodes. And so I recommend, if you like Star Wars, it's worth it, because there's some stories in the Clone Wars. Like at one point, they go to a planet and there's no one there because the slavers came and took everybody. And so Anakin has to go free all the slaves, and he gets captured again. And he's in slavery again, and it's incredible. Wow. Like there's some good, and the voice acting in the Clone Wars, top notch. Like when I think of the characters now, I don't think of the actor, I think of the voice actors. Like they're just that good. Like it's Clone Wars is better than the prequels and the sequel trilogy. Like it's some of the best stuff in Star Wars. And
every time I run across somebody that's like way big in the Clone Wars, you guys get me thinking I need to get back into it, and I just never do. I need to really do it this time.
This is I'll send you a link to the chart with the episodes to watch and the ones to skip, because there's some episodes that's just really there's like 18 different Jar Jar episodes, and it's like we don't care about this. There's like episodes with droid, there's no talking, it's just droid episodes. And it's like this is dumb. Right. But when it's the good episodes, like the conspiracy series, clone episodes, are phenomenal. I mean, when they bring back Darth Maul and Darth Maul's, they give him a buzzer. It's good. Let
me ask you this: what did you think about Solo?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was not as good as Rogue One, anyway. But I definitely put, like, if I rank Star Wars movies, it's above 3. It's above Episode 3, not by much, but it's up there, and it's I really enjoyed it. A lot of fun.
Well,
but what did you think?
It was good, but it just doesn't quite. I think what it was, and the worst character in it is Lando.
Yeah.
Lando was not, dude, you made him fucking robot?
Yeah,
what? Dude, Lando is like the most smooth talking, debonair cat around, and you have him fucking a robot that resembles nothing of a woman besides a voice chip. Like, what?
And that voice actor for her bugged me, because he's like, I'd never seen a Star Wars film before, so I just kind of went into it like I was a regular person, and it's like, what the fuck did you just say?
What did you just say?
It's like, and her feminist, it was a feminist robot. It was like, what is this?
Yeah, dude.
They wanted to make it accurate, so they gave her 600 pounds. But
that's fucking funny right there. Holy shit.
But when Solo's good, like the space scenes, the chase sequences, the music, I really loved those aspects of Solo. When Arden Ehrenreich, his Han Solo, I think he nailed it. Like when they eventually remake Indiana Jones, I want him to play Indiana. Like I think he is that good at Han Solo. I want him to do Indiana, because he just was. I mean, I own the jacket. The jacket he wore, I have the same kind of jacket in my closet. It's I had so much I enjoyed it. It was fine. It's a good movie.
Nice, man. Yeah, that Maul popping up at the end for me was like, whoa, like that was the shit. Seeing that. What did you think about Rogue One?
Probably the best Star Wars film.
Boom.
It's up there.
That's it, man.
It was good. I think I saw that one in theaters 7 times. I think I just kept going back again and again and again, because every time I watched it, I forget how good it is, and I'll rewatch it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the best fucking movie. This is amazing.
I mean, and here's the thing: it's a story we didn't ask for.
Mm-hmm.
I never asked for it. I don't know who, but like I say we, because I think everybody thinks like me, but. I don't recollect anybody saying, man, I wonder what happened with that first Death Star. Like, it never happened, man. But like they told this story, and they finally made the rebels out to be anything but puerile, whiny bitches.
Mm-hmm.
They had that dude. He was the informant, had his arm broken. He killed the stormtrooper, and he's like, we got to get out of here. We got to climb the walls. He's like, I can't. He's like, all right, adios. And boom.
He's getting his own show. He's getting his own. Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, it's a Cassian Andor TV show. It's gonna be like it's all about him. It's gonna be like a spy drama. It's nice. I'm excited for it. I am
nice.
this is why I have a hard time. Like, I want to hate on Disney sometimes because they ruined the sequel trilogy, but it took one line in the episode 4 to turn into the best fucking movie. So it's like, okay, so you clearly know what you're doing sometimes. It's like, so who did, like, what is ruining the sequels? You know, I think it's like, this is like, I think I looked at the sequel as like, oh, this is a money grab, and so we're going to put all the agenda in that one. While in this one, it's a throwaway move for the actual fans, so we're not going to put an agenda. I mean, compare Rey to Jyn Erso. Which one is a better character? One had 3 movies, one had 30 minutes of setup and was beautiful and perfect.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's just all there is to it, man. And you know, Disney isn't stupid. They look at the dollars coming in. And the merch for Mandalorian, the merch for, you know, Rogue One, like this shit, that's what's selling the franchise right now. They realized, because here's the thing. So Last Jedi came out, people were pissed, and rightfully so. I saw it in theaters, and like, I think I was just in the rush of the crowd because it was opening night. So it was kind of like, oh, this is a cool atmosphere. But then I went back and saw it again. I'm like, this fucking sucks. But Solo came out right after Last Jedi, and their ticket sales plummeted. They were nowhere near projected.
I think Deadpool beat Han Solo. Deadpool 2, I beat it out. And it's like, that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, no, that shouldn't happen at all. But it's very telling of what Rian Johnson did. You know,
and that's what took so much. Is like, they planned to make a trilogy out of Han Solo films. They were going to do a trilogy of Solo films, and it was like going to be awesome. I was like excited for it. And then when it bombed, and then I don't think it did not bomb due to its own fault. It bombed because of Last Jedi.
Exactly.
And so it's like, so because Rian Johnson fucked up so bad, he fucked up 2 whole trilogies.
Yeah.
And he was
one he didn't even touch.
And he was hired to direct the whole third trilogy. They fired him from that one. So in one film, he fucked up 3 trilogies. It's like, how bad of a director do you have to be to just do that to Star Wars? Like, I hate him. Dude. I hate Rian Johnson.
I'll start an anti-Rian Johnson caucus. Like, I will.
I'm down for it. I'd join. I would give money for that one. Like,
I would donate.
What was it? It reminds me of the New York, they have an Aaron Burr Society to celebrate Aaron Burr, and the slogan is "Not soon enough" when they killing Hamilton. And I'm tempted to start one for John Wilkes Booth, "Not soon enough," because I fucking hate Lincoln, and so I'm but we didn't need a good slogan for the Rian Johnson one. But so out of all the Star Wars books, but like you said, the Bane trilogy, the Darth Plagueis one, these are all books and the prequel. What does he ever read the Thrawn trilogy? It takes place after episode 6. Now I'm reading those now, and I'm going through them on Audible, and fucking incredible.
They're so good, man.
Holy shit.
They're so good. They're so good. And I'm only one book into it, but now there's a book out called Thrawn, and that is, dude, I rarely finish books anymore. Like, I struggle ADD and all that, you know.
I've only read half of those. It's probably a quarter.
I'm a book collector, not a book reader. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm right here, dude. And so Thrawn, I just got through reading it, and holy shit. Truce at how do you say that?
The Truce at Bakura. I know what we're talking about, but yeah.
That's one that takes place immediately after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I got that at a Goodwill. I was like in the back of a Goodwill, and I saw that. I'm like, Star Wars book. I need to buy it.
Yeah, man. It's a classic. I think it's legend status now.
Yep. Sadly. All the best stuff is legend status. I mean, Luke Skywalker is my favorite Star Wars character. I have the lightsaber right there. I love it. And Luke Skywalker Legends is so like everything he does. Like, he learns to teleport with the Force. His picking on like that Abaddon or whatever that lady's name was. Like, just the feats he has while all drinking hot chocolate. Like, this is the coolest character.
Yeah, like, so that's kind of the thing, you know, like, everybody progressed and got better. And then with these sequels they put out, like, all of a sudden, like, Leia was Jedi training, and the only Jedi thing we see her physically do is a flashback where she like puts Luke on his ass, and then she's like Superwoman in space.
Mary Poppins just like whoop,
Mary Poppins
like,
just goes right back, and that's it. And it's like, dude, no, man, like she was force sensitive. Like it explicitly said that in the movies, on the big screen, and we can't do any more development than that, granted.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. I mean,
yeah,
maybe they had plans, but it didn't work out. I don't know.
So every time I read the Star Wars books and I watch these movies, this is why I can't forgive them. It's like, even if I enjoy episodes 9, they ruined my boy Luke. They ruined the, in my opinion, one of the greatest characters ever created of all time, Luke Skywalker. Farm away from nowhere, the Jedi Master, everything he's in with the trilogy is the best. All the books are phenomenal. And they took one of the coolest characters ever created, and they turned him to some whiny old curmudgeon. He was like, the sacred text. And it's like, what? And his big moment, he doesn't even fucking go. Like, they so in the secret trilogy that you can teleport. So why couldn't he just teleport and actually do something with a green lightsaber? Why do you have the blue one? It was such a waste of fucking time.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I hate it so much.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Have you gotten to the point in that in the Thrawn trilogy that you're reading where Mara Jade comes into play?
Yes.
Dude.
He's yeah. God, the sequel. This book's are so much better than the movies.
Should have been what they did.
Better. Exactly. They had them right there to follow. It wouldn't probably wouldn't have been as good, but it was right there. You had to. What bugs me is I read online somewhere. I hope to God it's not true, that they were going to do a sequel trilogy to the sequel trilogy, and they were going to do the Views and Wrong or something from the extended books. And it's like, don't bring in those cool characters with these losers.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Finn, Poe, and Rey with that. That's lame.
I like Finn was okay. Rose, she's a sweetheart of an actress. Clearly, I mean, she got a lot of hate, and it wasn't her fault. But goddamn, dude, like she got a lot of hate.
Yeah,
I think sad. Skywalker, that whole bloodline, everything, even Palpatine, let it all die off. Mandalorian proved that we can tell a new story. And it'd be okay. Fuck, Rogue One proved that. Really, you know what I mean? Like you can have these epic stories, and you don't have to use the same diatribe. Like, let it die. You've tarnished the bloodline. Let it die peacefully.
Yes, the past is dead. Bury it.
Yeah.
Just leave it be.
Yep.
That's So out of all the new shows, Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, Mandalorian, what's one do you think, because they're gonna do it? What's one's gonna bring Thrawn in? Like, what's one do you think is gonna bring in Thrawn? Because my guess is Mando, but
that's what I'm thinking too. Because like, there's, especially in the book that I'm reading. So like, I need to go, or in the book I read, so it talks about Thrawn and Anakin used to hang out. So that story needs to get told. Yeah, I want to see that. You know what I mean? I don't know if we'll see that or not, but I'm thinking that Mandalorian will have at least some version of Thrawn.
I'm guessing if you didn't watch the Clone Wars, I'm guessing you didn't watch Star Wars Rebels. Okay. That's a weird one because half of it's absolute kiddie garbage. Like the lightsabers are skinny. They don't ever stab anybody. It is really just toned down Disney crap. But they bring Thrawn in the third season, and they do a whole cool story arc with Thrawn, and it ends with the main character Ezra, him picking, like, Ezra can control animals with the Force.
Yeah, and
so they grab these hyperspace traveling space fist type deals, and they all just latch onto a Star Destroyer, and they just boom, they're gone. And it ends. So Ezra's missing and Thrawn is missing, and no one knows where they are. And it ends. It cuts forward in time to after the sequel trilogy, after the original trilogy, and Ahsoka's picking up one of the side characters to go look for Ezra. And so it's like, okay, you got a character like Ezra, you got Thrawn, you have the new Empire clearly needing someone to lead it. You have Ahsoka now being in Mandalorian, and I think she's getting her own show. And so it's like they have things set up where they could bring in a cool character from the TV show. And then it's one thing I don't like about Star Wars now is I feel like I have to watch every sync. Yeah. You know, it's why I'm done with Marvel movies. I don't want to go see Black Widow and Shang-Chi. I don't want to see these new movies, but I gotta watch them because it's like the next episode of the series.
Right.
And I think with Star Wars, I'm falling behind because there's so many things to watch. But it's Rebels. You might want to watch it.
Here's the thing too, is that like you gotta hand it to these writers across the everywhere between the movies and the show, the continuity, you know, for that's gotta be hard. Can you imagine the fucking drafting board? Like, dude, it's like filled up. Like you gotta really be on your, because we will notice. By God, we'll notice, man.
We noticed that one guy in jeans and a green t-shirt in the 4th episode of season 2 of Mandalorian.
Yeah,
like we noticed that in a heartbeat, and they immediately removed it, and it's like, why? It has to stay forever.
It should have been there, man. That was a thing. It's already in our minds, you know.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But yeah, I think Mando will probably be the first one. You know, I think it will. It would be cool to have a nod if Fett and Thrawn had ever, you know, cross paths. Like that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
We'll see.
I really don't know what they're gonna do with Mando. Baby Yoda left with Luke, and so I really don't know what they're gonna do next. You know,
okay. So you remember from the games? Did you ever play the MMO?
Yes.
The Star Wars. Okay. So you know the Great
I still
Hunt,
play it.
the Great Hunt of the Mandalorian. I want to see that.
Oh, that'd be real cool. That'd be fucking awesome.
That would be so awesome because that's a huge thing, man. You know, that, or if not that, then maybe, I don't know, bring up Revan somehow, like make that part of the story. Like, let's get him in there, man. Because you know, I mean, Mando and Revan, you know, they beefed at one point in time. Like that was a big fucking deal.
Yeah, there's,
you know,
there's so much they could do with. Like now, I'm thinking about it. It's like I'm looking at the Old Republic stuff, and I've been replaying the MMO because it's still pretty fun. It holds up. And there's so many things they could do with Mandalorian lore that they could incorporate, and they really cool. That black saber was in the Clone Wars, and Dave Filoni was like, I need a really cool Mando lightsaber for like one fight scene. And then he made it, and everyone's like, this is the coolest thing we ever seen, and we're going to incorporate it in everything else from now on. And it works. Like it's exciting. It's a cool looking lightsaber. Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
Dope. Go ahead. No, I was just saying it's dope.
I got a few more questions, and I got to wrap it up, sadly.
Okay, it's all good.
Lightsaber color. If you were Jedi or Sith, what lightsaber color would you go with?
White.
White.
Keep them on their toes, man. Keep them on their toes. You know.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. I think so. That's just, and the utility of it too. Have you played? What's the Fallen Order?
I fucking love that game.
So good.
It was so good.
So good.
I want to see. I need a sequel so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. You want to talk about doing it right? That was it.
That was the Darth Vader appearance, Cal Kestis' character, everything about it was this. There's a rumor Cal Kestis might show up in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. And I'm like, there's no way they made that voice actor who plays him look so much like the actual actor if they won't plan to use him later on.
Yeah, they have to.
And he's so good at it. I mean,
dude.
God, that'd make me want to go replay Fallen Order again.
I mean, I was just thinking about it just now.
It's a good game.
But the utility, you know how like there's dark areas and you got to hold your saber up.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the thing. You know what I mean? Like that's why, like, I don't know. That's why we'd want white. What about you?
Green. I go green. Even though every time I play a game with like you pick your own class, I always go Jedi Knight or Jedi Sentinel or something. But the green lightsabers, they look great. They look sick.
Right on.
Fallen Order though. Now you got me want to talk about Fallen Order for a bit.
Dude, it's fantastic game.
Yeah,
And here's the thing: the older I get, like I'm 36, right? So I'm not as good at multiplayer games as I used to be. Yeah. I routinely get my ass handed to me by 12-year-olds with high-pitched voices. Like it bugs me, you know. So
they're all probably saying the N-word. It's just disgusting.
Yeah. So like if I can have an experience as good as Fallen Order and it's not, you know, multiplayer, man, all the better. You know, Battlefront 2 was gorgeous, but it's online. I don't want to do online. I'm sick of online games.
Honestly, for me, when I play Battlefront 2, I did co-op, you know, when it's like 4 guys taking on bots. because that's about as fun as you can get. After that, playing online, I'm not good at video games.
No, dude.
Plus, I'm not here to be stressed. I'm here to relax. I don't want to be spinning up my computer like, fuck you piece of shit.
Exactly.
Stop sniping me. It's like, this is the video game. Relax.
Yeah, man.
No, this like Star Wars games. I feel like there's so much there. They need to start bringing in more games for us. You know, like if Fallen Order was that good and Battlefront 2 was that good, I need to see more epic Star Wars video games.
Well, the problem that we have is that EA has the exclusive rights. Disney granted EA exclusive rights to any video game. So, you know, dude, it sucks bad because BioWare did all the good, you know, obviously with, you know, that. And
yeah,
I'm a console gamer because I don't have time to keep up with the fucking gaming PC. I got a little laptop. That's what I'm using right now for this. But like, yeah, console is just way easier for me, man.
Yeah. I have my gaming PC. I enjoy it for my friends that want to play online. And I have a VR headset, and so that's kind of why I have it, because it's but console gaming, that's where it's at. You know,
speaking of VR headset, have you played the Star Wars Squadron game?
I bought one of these bad boys for it.
Nice.
I got deep into that game, man. It's
so good.
You can't play it and not just be like, I am an X-Wing pilot. This is what I do now. I'll be I got so into it. Like when I want to listen to a podcast, I would just load into like the practice map and just fly around listening to the podcast. Like when you put enemies, I just fly around. Like, this is so much fun. I'm gonna do a podcast where I do it. It is.
Yeah. It's next level, man. It's next level. Being in a TIE interceptor and being able to like, dude, finally, like this is it.
It's one of the other video games they have that's a lot of fun is Vader Immortal. It's fun.
I have seen the gameplay. I've not played that yet though.
Oh, it is totally it's so much fun, man. I think I bought the first episode. I played through it immediately, the entire thing, and I went and bought the next two. Like I just like I gotta do this. So I'm doing this weekend. It is like they have 3 different VR Star Wars games now. They have the Squadrons, and they have the Vader Immortal, and they have that new shooting one. That's like Galaxy's Edge or something.
Oh yeah.
They have all 3 with 3 different mechanics like shooting, walking, puzzle solving, lightsaber combat, and flying. Where's the giant VR game with all 3? Where's that giant ass like $60 like GTA in space Star Wars game? Like, you know they're working on it. But wait,
I hope you know. I would if ever I would see we got the Elder Scrolls Online, you know, for consoles. Like I want to see a Star Wars version MMO. I don't mind MMOs. MMOs are fine because it's different. You know, you got your AI you can fight against, but I want to see a Star Wars console MMO. Yeah. You know, Disney, if you're listening, by God, give me that, please.
Yeah, it is. They need to bring back LucasArts and just make more games.
Bro,
like I'd even accept bringing them back pod racing. Like that Star Wars pod racing game I had on N64. I still have that. It's a lot of fun.
Remember Shadows of the Empire?
Oh, that was fun.
Fucking dope. I remember. Here's how old that is for me. That's when Bush's Razor Blade Suitcase album came out. I distinctly put both of those, that game and that album, together in mind because I remember just like chilling out in my room. That's some 90s shit right there, dude.
There was so many good. I gotta ask. Top 3 Star Wars games. Like, what's one with you? How would you rank them?
Well, I mean, you got to go, you know, Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, and then SWTOR, you know, that. Yeah. And I know I just got through telling you I'm a console gamer only, but the funny thing is my 3 favorite Star Wars games are all on PC.
Yeah.
You know, you can't, no, I take that back. I think the Knights of the Old Republic was actually
Xbox
on Xbox. Yeah. Okay, so that's not entirely true, but you can't beat that. The MMO. Oh my God, you could do anything you want, go anywhere you want, be whoever you wanted to be.
I had a gang of friends when a game came out, like 7 friends. We did a LAN party for a whole weekend. All started level 0, and we just played. We were all different. Like we all did Republic. We had two counselors, a stealth guy, the smuggler. We had everyone just like we had a guild kind of thing going. It was the most fun I've had playing video games ever. I think it was.
Yeah, dude.
It's incredible.
Yeah, so much lore. All the lore that's in there.
Oh, there's so much. And the fact that it's no longer canon. It's just like you put how many hours into this just to wipe away at a snap of a finger.
Yeah,
like this is.
Yeah, let a board of executives decide the fate of an entire. I mean, quite literally a universe of content.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
what was it? For me, one of my favorite Star Wars games was if you go to an arcade, you remember those things, right? Okay.
Yes.
They had that the two Star Wars arcade game. They had that one where you had like the little stick in the middle, and the last battle was like taking on Vader's lightsaber. And I always died. But they had the pod racing game where you had the two pod racing sticks here, like an actual pod racer. I think I probably spent over $100 on that game alone. Like I would go to, there's like one arcade left I know in Florida. It's a Pop Century Resort in Disney, and they still have it. Every other arcade got rid of it. So I have one arcade, so I still go there. If I go to Disney, I'll get cut off on a bus, go to Pop Century. Obviously in the night, I'll just go to that arcade, spend $50, spend money. That game is so much. I was on Craigslist trying to say, can I buy one for my room? Like, I'll put it right there in the corner. Who needs a bed when you have a pod racer in your bedroom?
Oh, dude, I would sleep in that thing forever. Yeah, absolutely.
But I go home and it's just like, where's the bed? It's a pod racer. it's working.
Yeah, and if she doesn't understand that, leave her ass, King. You deserve better.
I deserve better. I need someone who appreciates my Star Wars memorabilia.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, this has been a lot of fun. I have one last question to ask you. Then I'm going to ask you to plug all your stuff.
Okay.
Favorite Star Wars film, least favorite Star Wars film.
Okay, number one favorite. This is going to sound blasphemous, but it's Rogue One.
I get that. Yeah, I get that.
It's not far ahead of Empire, because Empire was just great. But yeah, Rogue One. And my least favorite, it's a tie. It's in between Attack of the Clones and Last Jedi. I think the only thing that makes The Last Jedi not it is the throne room fight scene. That's probably it. And Benicio del Toro. But yeah, Attack of the Clones was hot garbage.
Yeah, I watched it the other day in preparation for. I'm having on Scott Holt on Friday to talk Saturday to talk prequels.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm hoping he goes in like one of those tangents like he always does about some like prequels. I'm excited, but I'm watching it. I'm like, do I have to watch Attack of the Clones? Can I just jump to Revenge of the Sith? Like this is such bullshit. Everything in it. So for me, I a lot of people don't like this, but I think Return of Jedi more than Episode 5. I think that last scene was Luke and Vader in the throne room. The scene where Luke's face is half shadow, half light. I think that entire scene right there is so fucking solid and perfect. And Luke's throwing the lightsaber away, like he's not gonna do it. The whole scene is so perfect.
It's iconic.
It's wonderful. And that whole movie had this problem. It's the first time Lucas was like, money grab. Let's make the Ewoks. But it was a good movie.
It's solid. I like Return. Absolutely. I really do.
Well, this has been a lot of fun.
Where
can people find you at? Where can they come subscribe and check you out?
I'm on all the podcatcher platforms. The Clean Libertarian podcast. The premise is it's a podcast solely about ending the war on drugs. I'm also a member of Recovery, so I have a lot of people on that share their story of hope. I also have a YouTube channel. You can find me there, but on Twitter, I am at clean_podcast or at LibertyDrew84. Both of those are valid.
Wonderful. Well, everyone, this has been another episode of the Catholic Libertarian podcast talking about Star Wars. I hope everyone has a good night, and may the Force be with you.